where we talk about leadership, healing, self-control, self-love, discipline, and becoming the woman that God called us to be. So this is the time to reset your mind. We talk about rewiring our brains, grow, reflect, and start your day with intentions. That's why I call it the morning show. So if you're sitting at your desk, go ahead, come on in, listen to me. So as people start coming in, I'll just go ahead and talk. If you miss any of this today's episode or today's teaching, you can always go to my YT chat with Coach Nye and you can pick it up there. So if you're live, I want you to comment good morning and where you're watching from. So today is about leadership starts with self-control. That's what we're going to learn about today. Leadership starts with self-control. Now, leaders control their emotions. That's the most important thing as a leader. You have to learn how to be emotionally intelligent. So when you get ready to step into purpose and step into what God called you to be, let me get this, moving my mic. When you step into the person that God called you to be, what happens is, okay, this is not going to go right. Okay, there we go. You automatically step into a leadership position. So one of the biggest differences between leaders and everyone else is emotional control. So as a leader, it's all about emotional control. When to act, know when to act, how to act, and how to step into the position of, not so much step into the position of knowing better, but just knowing better, knowing when and who you are, remembering who you are. So overall, just remembering who you are, and that's giving you the emotional control as a leader. So everyone has emotional control, and that's the most important thing that everyone needs to understand. Everyone has emotional control. Everyone does. I am so sorry, y'all. I'm telling you, I be trying to have it all together before I come live. So everyone has emotions. So those emotions look like what? Anger, fear, jealousy. All those emotions that bottle up, and we talked about last week about categorizing the correct emotion and attaching it to the right feeling. So you have jealousy, frustration, excitement, sadness, and anxiety. Those are all different types of emotions that we carry. Those are just the most of them, right? The main ones. And then you have the secondary emotions just attached to those, right? But we'll talk about that another time. So leaders are not people who don't have emotions. So it's not that we don't have emotion. We just know how to check ourselves, and we don't let our emotions control the narrative or control our outcome. We don't allow that. So I'm going to show you the difference between a strong leader and a weak leader. So weak leadership looks like this: yelling when angry, quitting when frustrated, spending money when you're sad, eating when stressed, posting on social media when you're emotional. That part. And then y'all turn around and go be with him or her. That part, right? Making decisions out of fear, arguing just to win, and reacting without thinking. That's what weak leadership looked like. I always use myself as an example. So when I was in the military and as a leader, I didn't know any better. Well, actually, I was a product of my environment. In those times, leadership, I was kind of coming out of the transitioning and going into another transition of the military. And that was coming from, you got the sergeant majors and the first sergeants, they got dip all in their lip. And when they talk, you don't understand nothing they saying. You don't know nothing they saying. You just know that you better lock up real quick. You better get a parade rest. You better do whatever it is real quick. And that's all they led by is yelling, screaming, and yelling. So that's what I was raised in. But then I was transitioning into the time that it was more softer leadership style, And so now looking back at it, I yelled a lot. And so that, looking at it in the heel frame, that is a weak leadership, because it was ways I could have got my point across. But I grew up in the environment in the times that that's just what it was, So was I wrong? No. Was I wrong? Yeah. But it worked for me. You know what I mean? I knew how to balance it. So now strong leadership look like this: pausing before you think, thinking before you speak, right? Walking away when you're angry. That's what strong leadership look like. Making decisions based on logic, not feelings. Never. Thank you so much for the follow. Listen, if you follow, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the shares. You guys come on in. We're just getting started. Today's class is about leadership starts with self-control. So make a decision based off logic and not feelings. You know that impulsiveness? You get very impulsive. Your nerves get bad and you just make a decision. Staying calm in stressful situations. That's what strong leadership look like. Now, emotional control is leadership maturity. It is nothing that you just wake up with and you're just emotionally intelligent, right? No, you have to work towards it. It's all about maturing. Like, okay, I've been through this, learning from your lessons. This happened when this happened. I used to have this thing with me that every time my nose would itch, right? And it dawned on me one day, like, every time my nose itch, I'm always into it with somebody. So I started looking at the cues and I said, okay, no. So the day would start, my nose get to itching, and I would pay attention to everything because no, you will not act out today. No. And then I start realizing that, when people come, I needed to have that gray area, meaning that was the first initial point. My nose itching, So I already know you about to start something. I'm going to go ahead and step away. I'm not allowing you. It's like I knew when the enemy was showing up. So those were my cues. So let's look at the second one. Leaders don't react to everything. You don't have to react to everything. Do you understand? So let me break this down before we get into number 2. So this is how the enemy works. He's going to do his job regardless. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how much praying you do, how much rebuking you do, what you do, how you do it. It does not matter. The enemy is going to do his job. Do you hear me? So the more that you react to him, he's winning, because that's his job, is to provoke you, get you upset, get you out of that, get you so focused on rebuking him all day, right? Get you so focused on praying over him all day that you're missing the point and you're not operating in purpose. He does not matter as long as he can distract you from doing what God told you to do and being in purpose, being a leader, doing whatever. So leaders don't have to react to everything. Once you realize that, wait a minute, the enemy is going to do his job at all times, but you're never doing your job at all times. At all times, you're never doing your job. I don't care if you're the pastor, the bishop. I don't care. At all times, you're never doing your job because you're too busy chasing the enemy, talking about, I rebuke you, get out of here, and you're missing what you're supposed to be learning and doing. The enemy is going to do his job. You have to learn to deal with the enemy the way, this is how I deal with him. I don't. I do my prayer. I rebuke, but I'm not supposed to be all day running, chasing you around, rebuking you, because I know you're going to show up anyway. All I'm going to do is pray for covering, and I'm going to keep doing my job. I'm not entertaining it. I'm not entertaining chaos. I'm not entertaining mess. I'm not entertaining people, they once was in your life and then they out of your life. I'm not going to chase you and say, what happened? Did I do? I'm not doing any of it. I'm so focused on minding my own business that I can't help but grow and be successful in the business that God got for me. That's where I'm teaching you women today on how to be that. That is the whole purpose of the Lead Her movement, to keep you so focused and busy on yourself. You have no time for anybody else. You have no time for nonsense. So leaders don't react to everything. That's very important. Why is it important? Why is it important? Because everything does not deserve your attention, energy, response, your explanation, or your anger. You don't have to explain anything to anybody. Listen, this is the key to success. Stop worrying about the people that don't support you. Stop worrying about, you see the videos of people. I'm just going to block and delete people that don't support me. Or I'm not going to do this if you don't support me. I'm not going to be this way. Or, and you start losing followers or whatever the case, and you running behind. You don't have to do any of that. Baby, I'm not explaining nothing. If you want to disconnect, disconnect. That is the best way for the enemy to remove himself from your life himself. When you're not entertaining the enemy will leave. Yes, you'll have friends one day, y'all be high-fiving, they'll be all in your face, ha-ha, and like you the best, this. And then the next day, all of a sudden, they feel a type of way. We talked about that with love. They'll feel a type of way because jealousy kicks in. And it's not that they're jealous of you. It's just that people don't understand what jealousy is, because they were raised in a household, as I taught you guys last night, they were raised in a household where there was only angry, happy jealousy. That right now they don't have a category for love because they don't know what love is. They made up what love should be. They gave the definition of what love should be in the household that became the values and the morals. And that's what they stood on, that this is what love is. So I'm going to tell you how it is. It's angry, happy, and jealousy. If this is how conditional love was created, so this is how it goes. You make me mad. You make me sad. I put that in angry because I don't know anything else. You make me laugh. That's happy because I don't know anything else. Now remember, it's angry, happy, jealousy. You love me. I love you. That put it in happy because I don't know where else to put it, which makes it conditional. Because when you don't make me happy anymore, where do I put it? In angry? I took it out of happy. Do I put it in angry or do I put it in jealousy? Well, you didn't do anything to make me mad at you. I just feel a type of way. So now I'm going to take my love and then they put it in jealousy because they love everything that you do. They like how you move. They like how you talk. They like how you can move a crowd. They like everything about you. So it's not that they hating on you. They just don't know what to do with the love. So they put it in jealousy. And when it's in jealousy, what happens is now that it's in jealousy, now they have to confront you. They have to look at you. They can't just talk to you anymore. No, they have to show up in anger because now they have that make-believe beef, and they put it in anger. And now y'all have a problem. It's a one-sided beef. But for you as a leader, you don't entertain that. You allow trash to take itself out. Trash is trash. Why would I want to be a part of it? I don't like trash in my home because it stinks. I don't like mess in my home because it takes my peace away. Hold on, let me put this on. I had to put it on do not disturb because we're about to be rolling here. So those are the type things. So when people remove themselves from your life, you don't go chase. You don't go think about it. You don't look and say, well, what did you do nothing and understand that the enemy, if he cannot provoke you and if he can't be like you, if it's something that he needs and he can't get it from you, he can't waste too much time on you. He has to come back later. And what he does is he got to go to the next person. Therefore, he can do his job. And what he'll do with you is bring the same energy, but in a different person, but have you recognize that is of the enemy, that part. So everything does not deserve your attention, your energy, your response, your explanation, or your anger. Remember that. Mature leaders understand this. Just because something happened doesn't mean I have to react to it. Thank you for the follow. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all for the shares. Listen, just because something happened doesn't mean that I have to react to it. Self-control, sometimes it looks like just simple things. Let's look at a couple of them. Not responding to the text. That's self-control. Listen, the enemy is going to, through every door that you leave open, meaning your gate. I teach you about your gate. You always got to keep your gate closed. The enemy can't bother you. The enemy can sit right next to me. He can sit in the same room as me. We can be talking, but he can't bother me. He can't shake me because my gates are closed, meaning my mental. Because that's where he attacks you, here, in your mental. If I can make you think you're sick, then therefore your body will fall apart. If I can make you think that these people don't like you, then you'll start second guessing yourself. No, the enemy can't do nothing to me, baby. They talk about me. Listen, people talk about me. Okay. That's what they're going to do. That's their job. Do your job. But my job is not to entertain it. So the same way with you. Self-control. It looks like not responding to that text. You want to text me some nonsense? Okay. I don't even get the whole, you know how you used to you'll get that feeling of, but no, I don't even get that. I'm telling you, I'm so different now that, baby, I look at that text. Immediately block, delete. Block, delete. Because nothing. It means nothing to me. Not arguing. You want to argue? Thank you, Healing Her digitally. Thank you for the likes. You want to argue? You want to argue? Baby, argue about that. What was it? Cereal with no milk? Argue about that. Because I'm not arguing with you about nothing. No. Arguing with you for what? That means I have to care. That means I have to be passionate about it. Thank you, love always. I have to be passionate about this thing. And I'm not. I'm so focused on me that I don't have time to be focused on anyone else. And when I say focused on me, I'm not saying in a selfish way. I'm not saying in passion. Passion is about self. I'm talking about purpose. Because if I'm so focused on my purpose, that means that I can help others. If I'm not focused on me, then I can't get here. Oh, thank you for my hat, girl. You know I like my hat, baby. Listen, if I'm not focused on me, thank you, Hope for Humanity. If I'm not focused on me, then I won't be able to have time to create the content and the teachings and the classes that I need to create to help you heal and become the best version of yourself. No, I'm in purpose, baby. You better move around. What's another one? Not defending yourself. Thank you so much. Self-control is not defending yourself. I don't have to defend myself. I don't have to prove my self-worth to you. Ladies, you stop proving your self-worth to people. Do you know it was times that I used to try and prove to people how loyal I am? Now, I'm the best friend you're going to ever have. Baby, they don't know what a friend is, so they're never going to see the best friend that they'll ever have in me. They don't know what love is, so they're never going to see the love in me. Do you understand? They grew up in a place where love meant, what did we just say? You have angry, happy, jealous. That love is happy, and when you're not happy anymore, or the fact that they're doing better than you, you happy for them, but they making you feel a type of way, that love falls into jealousy. Then that jealousy jumps into what? Anger. Now y'all beefing. They be so toxic, Hope for Humanity. They be so toxic. So I'm trying to prove to you who I am, but you're never going to see it because you don't know what love is. You don't know what love is, a being. You have to become love. That's just all it is. Like putting on clothes. You have to become it. That's what love is. Love is not, I know they taught y'all, it's the emotion of this, but yeah, okay, it's an emotion. I love you. Let's go get married. And then it becomes conditional because he didn't treat me like I felt he should treat me as a wife, or she didn't treat me as I felt she should treat me as a husband. You know, so therefore now I'm taking her out of happy because I don't know what true love is. And I'm going to put it in, no, it ain't even going to jealousy now because I'm not jealous of her and I'm not jealous of him. It's going into angry. I hate him. Now it's conditional. What sense does that make? Do you understand? When you are loved, that's how conditional love is created, because you never understood what it is. Love is the highest gift of all. It is God. That's it. So he is I am. He is all things. Love, the fruits. You have to become the fruits, meaning that love is this. When I come into your life, instead of me saying I'm the best friend you're going to have and trying to prove myself, when I come into my life, I wear love. I clothe love. You come into my home, you feel love. Everything about me, my presence is love. It's joy, peace. It's all of the fruits. When I come in, that's what love is. The kingdom of God is within you. So if he dwells in you, then therefore that's what love is. I'm not talking to you fake Christians that's out there talking about I love, and then you turn around and then you start backbiting and making people feel church hurt. You're running them from the church, making them feel a type of way because all you doing is running your mouth. But yet you lead with the word God and Jesus Christ. I don't even know how you let Jesus Christ roll off your tongue, tested of the spirit. How? And you are the devil within itself, the devil in the red dress sitting in the church. So you running folks, you know what? Let's get back on here. So the whole point of self-control is understanding you don't have to defend yourself, because I was about to take it to a whole nother class, because this is why people are so misguided, and they're taking their emotions and they're putting them in different categories because of the fact they never knew what love is. Because love for most of us, especially in the black community, comes from the church, right? Because that's what we grew up in. But what we learned is auntie and them, they messy, right? Your mom and them messy too. The pastor messy. This one don't like the first lady because she had the pastor first. So we never got to understand what love was. But love is God. It's the highest gift of all. But love is God. It's the highest gift of all. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I had to make sure it wasn't my son's school. It's my second born, baby. When they call and say he did it, he did everything they said he did. I know he did, but you know what? I'm his mama. Prove it to me. So listen, self-control looks like also ignoring negativity. Letting people talk. Self-control is letting people talk. Listen, you have those ones. Let me explain something to you. And this is when you understand the enemy has entered the chat. And this is how you allow God to enter the chat. When the enemy entered the chat, oh, can we talk? Yeah. Let's talk. They say what they have to say. You, as a leader, you allow them to speak. You give them a space. You don't take mental notes of, okay, I'm going to come back there and I'm going to check this. I'm going to check. No, you allow people to, talk, because you're listening to understand, not to reply. And then when they're done, you take your time. And then you explain to them and you meet them when they are. But it's those ones when the enemy enter the chat. They want to overtalk you. They want to tell you you're wrong. They want to say this. They want to say that because it's me, me, me. What about me, 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 me? Well, let me explain something. Thank you, Native, for the follow. Let me explain something of how this goes. In a conversation to converse, you both have to be able to listen to understand. The enemy never want to listen to you because of the fact he need to plant the seed in your head to make you feel like that you the problem. Because if he can get you to think that you're the problem, then you'll apologize for the things that, what they call that, narcissistic. You'll apologize for things. You'll apologize for their mess ups. You'll be so focused on trying to make them happy when you're the one that was hurt. No, we're not doing that. No. Allow them to be that. This is how you allow God to enter the chat. You immediately end the conversation. You will be respected. You will be respected the same way you respected them. And if they can't sit and they're not mature enough to have a conversation to sit and listen to what you have to say and process what you have to say, it does not mean they have to say, okay, you right, let me do. No, they just need to understand that, yes, that is how you is. Ain't nothing worse when I hear people say, oh, I'm just an Aries. Oh, I'm just a Sagittarius. That's just how I shut up. Yeah, because I can also say these just my knuckles and these just, but I'm not doing that. What I'm trying to tell you is just because you carrying yourself on like something does not mean that it's right. So you can't lead with that. Do you understand? You have to lead as a leader. You can't lead with emotions. You have to be mature enough to say, okay, wait a minute. I was wrong in that. So as a leader in the military, I learned that I can't talk to every soldier the same. I couldn't talk to every soldier the same. I have the same mission. They all got the same mission, but I couldn't talk to them the same because this one was shut down. This one going to be, if I went in and I was cussing and fussing at all of them, this one going to shut down. This one is going to just, come up against me. And this one going to thrive in it because that was their household they grew up in. Yeah, yell at me. Cuss at me, yeah, thrive in it. They just going to be so motivated. They going to get the whole mission done by themselves, right? But what I learned is I can say the same thing, but I need to meet you where you are. See, it's something about the delivery and the receiver. When they say this, you said that and it hurt my feelings. You're acknowledging your feelings. You're emotionally mature. And they say, well, that's your fault you took it like that because that's not how I meant it. No, it's not your fault. That's how you took it. This is how you receive things. So if you're in shipping and receiving, you have the way that you receive. You have your standard of when you receive it. This paperwork got to be done. This got to be done. It got to be checked by this. It got to be. You have a way that you receive information. It's your process. It's your front door. When people want to approach you, this is how they have to approach you. These are your standards and your boundaries. So who are you just because I'm a this person? I'm a whatever, hit them with the zodiac sign. I'm a Pisces. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm a Taurus. I'm a this. I'm a that. This is how we do. Shut up. No, that's not how you're going to do me. And that's what I need to teach you as a leader to understand. You have to have boundaries. I know I sound aggressive, but I'm not. But I'm just saying, let me get back on topic. Thank you so much, Lena, for the follow. So when you are addressing me, you have to address me where my boundaries, meet me where my boundaries are, respect me. So that's what I had to learn as a leader, to learn how to speak, say the same thing, but to speak to people differently. Meet them where they are. So that's another thing. That's about self-control. Not feeling that because I'm a leader, like, oh, I have authority, so you're going to listen to me. I don't care if you're mad. No. Respect is respect. So we're talking about letting small things go and choosing peace over being right. This is where God enters the chat. When you have people that is not trying to hear anything other than what they want to hear. I want to hear you was wrong. But you don't feel you wrong. And if you don't feel you wrong, then baby, you ain't wrong. Do you understand? So I always say this. That is your truth, right? And so I can't take your truth from you. Now, you have some people that try and be narcissistic. They'll say something like, oh, well, that's not what I meant. How that's not what you meant? And all your actions led up to this. Well, that's how I feel. Shut up. No. You can't say, okay, you're in a relationship and all of a sudden y'all get to the point you start looking for dresses. Why are you looking for dresses? They ask. Well, because for the last 2 years we've been talking about getting married, and we talked about it in 2024 and said, by May 2026 we're going to start getting married. So, and we've been talking about this leading up to this. Every day we've been talking about what our colors are going to be. I've been asking you questions. I've been doing this now, right? And then they like, oh well, I didn't know that's what we was doing. No, that is gaslighting. Because of the fact, whenever you indulge in that conversation leading up to, you know exactly what it was. You're just gaslighting at this point. But the ones that I'm talking about is you are having a conversation. You know what? Just choose peace over being right. If they want to be nasty, let them be nasty. But I'm not going to. When I say that it is, what am I trying to say? Because I done lost my train of thought. Over being right. So your truth and their truth. That's what we were. Your truth and their truth. So here's the thing. I know this lady, she's like, oh, I hate when people say your truth is only one truth. And she felt like it was only one truth because she always felt she was right. She always felt she was right. She never seen the stuff that she did wrong. She didn't know how to take accountability. So she's like, it's only one truth. No, baby, no. There's your truth. So let's give you an example of your truth, my truth. So we're both sitting here on a panel. You're on the right side, you're on the left side, and I'm in the middle. Somebody come through that door, causing ruckus. I can describe that person from the head to his toes. Right? Exactly. But the one on the left is going to say, no, he didn't have no red hat, because they seen him from the side. His hat on the side was black. They can describe him from here all the way down. But does that make her a lie? Because the front of his hat is red. No, it doesn't make her a lie. That's her truth. That's what she saw. And then from this side, they're like, well, I didn't know he even had a hat on. Because the hat didn't even have a side on their side. Do you understand? So that's what I mean by their truth. So if that's how you feel, that's your truth. And don't let anyone tell you that that's not right. Right? Understanding that your truth is valid. So choose peace over being right. This is how God steps into the chat. You want to be right? You want me to acknowledge that you are right and say that you're right? No. I'm going to walk away. Because at that point, you can't force that person to understand anything. At that point, they just done. Okay? Yes, MLG. Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for the like, shares, and the follow. So come on in. So let's talk about it. Reaction is weakness. Response is leadership. Now, I teach this in one of my other classes about reaction and responses. Reaction is a low vibrational, thank you for the gift, a very low vibrational trait, toxic trait. Thank you for the follow. Neon Brats, thank you so much. It's a low vibrational trait. And what happens is when we react, we're coming from a place of, we're not emotionally intelligent. We're coming from a place of hurt. We're coming from a place, this is how we did it in my household. This is how we act in my household. This is my values. These are my morals. This is what people do. This is what we do. This is just our sign. All our signs, we just like this. Yeah. Well, you stay over there with your low vibrational signs and you go chase the zodiacs and say this is what y'all is. But a response is a healed version reaction to whatever happened. So we're responding now. Meaning responding does not mean popping off. Most people think like, yeah, I'm telling them pop off. That's not responding. That's reacting. Responding is you stop, you take a break, you acknowledge what's going on. You see what's going on, right? Before you speak, you think. Before you react, you look at, okay, well, is this the right thing? Is something going on with them? Right? The example I like to use is we in the club and I get pushed. Thank you, Yashel, for the follow. Listen, you push me in a club, my low vibration, my unhealed survival self, I'm pushed back. React. Now, I'm healed. You push me in a club, then I'm going to respond and I'm going to look and see, did someone push them and they fell into me? Are they having a hard time? Are they drunk? Are they stressed? You see how that goes? So it's just the way. And then once I realize I'm going to move out of your way, I'm going to disconnect. Or if you need help, I'm going to assist you. So people look at that as weak. No, that's just being kind. in understanding and leading with grace. People think grace is what? Women standing in grace. I did a podcast on that. Women standing in grace. What does that look like? We think it looked like a woman that looked like she got it all together. She in all her cream. She smell like cocoa butter. She just floats. She don't even walk. She float. That's what we think. But that's so far from the truth. Grace, a woman leading and standing in grace is a woman that can respond to situations correctly. That can, give you grace. Like, okay, you don't know any better. You didn't love me right because you don't even understand what love is. I told you 3 categories: angry, happy, jealousy. You put love into happiness. And when you're not happy anymore, where does it go? Does it go to angry or jealousy? You put it to anger. And you became angry at me. And then, yes, women, your husbands can be jealous of you. And then that anger boiled over to jealousy. Now you got a double whammy coming up against you because he don't know what love is. So that's what it is. Leaders do not respond. They react. Okay? Leaders respond. We don't react is what I meant to say. We respond. We don't react. So let's get into the third one. Self-control with money, food, emotions, words, and time. Listen, women, this is definitely for you. Listen, this is definitely for you. Go ahead, share it out to your homegirl. Tell them to go, come on, get in class. Let's talk about it. Self-control with money, food, emotions, words, and time. So self-control is not just about emotion. Self-control can show up in your everyday life. Your everyday life self-control. So I got a couple of them. I'm breaking it down. Because we never do what other people have to. Right. Exactly. So let's look at self-control with money. So women, what does that look like? Self-control with money means not buying things you don't need. How many of us have went in Dollar General, Family Dollar, Walmart, whatever, and we got this mindset of all I'm getting is this, and it's cost $5, and that is it, nothing more. But you walk in Dollar General, you walk in Family Dollar, you walk in Walmart, baby, don't go in Target because you definitely ain't gonna spend what you need. But you get up in there, and next thing you know, you got a buggy full of stuff because the what if. I don't need it right now, but what if? I'm gonna go ahead and get all this tissue now, even though I got enough that'll get me to next month, but I'm going to go ahead and get it now so I ain't got to worry about it. And then I'm going to go ahead and get this. And then I'm going to go ahead and get, you know what? This will look so cute on Darnisha's baby. Oh, I got to get it. Yes, that's what we're getting into, I hope, for humanity, emotional buying. So self-control looks like saving money. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Because when we're thinking about saving, guess what happens? Go in that store, and it's like, okay, I don't have no money. Baby, I'm the queen of holding up the line. Hold on, let me transfer some money. Because what happens is, if I keep all that money that's right, if I keep all that money in my checkings, then I'm just going to spend it. But if I put it in my savings, I won't, right? Because I got self-control until I get in that store. Like, I'm going to just go ahead and get this. You know what? This will look so good on me. I don't have anything to match it. But I know if I don't buy this shirt, I'm going to end up finding some shoes for it later. Thank you for the follows. Boss Lady and Koi, I think I said that right. But listen, I try to acknowledge everybody, okay? So thank y'all for the like, shares, and follow. So that's what that is. So another one, investing. What are you investing in? Now, let me tell y'all what my excuse of investing was. I'm always buying something for the house, some kind of decor. And I would say, at least you can see where the money went. It ain't like you can't tell where the money went. That was my excuse. Look where the money is. Hi. Look where the money at. But did I really, look at that K back there. Did I really need that K? So that was the impulsive buy, that K, that letter K back there. That was impulsive. It wasn't impulsive. It was just one of those things. I went in the store and I was just shopping for what I needed. I went in there to get some paper towels and I walked past. I said, oh, that's a K. Well, let me get that K. Get that K for my last name. It goes with nothing in the house. That's why it's just randomly thrown somewhere. Another one is, right. What should you invest in? You should be invested in. See, a lot of people don't know about stocks. Read up on it. Invest in a savings account that gives you a great percentage rate that meets you. Invest in things like that. Or your business. Invest in your business. Invest in you. What do I mean by invest in you? K for karma. What I mean by invest in you, Jalen? I mean like more self-care. Right? Pouring into yourself. Purchase some books. Anything that's going to help you build and become the best version of yourself. You can invest in that. But investing in that K, what is that K bringing me? What's the K bringing me? It's bringing me nothing. Nothing. I think the thing was like $5. $5 I could have had in my pocket. It's not that. So look at another one. Not trying to impress people. I've never been that type of person. Self-control with money is not trying to impress people. But I will tell you what I always have been. The person that everybody come to, I need some money, knocking out my bills, my rent, my this, my that. I made myself available to people. I didn't understand that was a toxic trait. I didn't understand that. Because what was happening is I always made myself available to people because I feel like if God blessed me with it, then I can bless other people with it. And if I bless other people with it, then I'll stay blessed, you know? So, but that's not how that goes. That's what the world taught me I needed to do. God never told me to do any of that. God filled my cup up for me. Your cup is for you. The overflow is for the people that he need you to help. Not everybody. See, I kept jumping in the way of helping other people. Now they're not learning the lesson because now they constantly running to me to save them. This is the thing that used to get me is, thank you so much for my cup of tea, my cup of coffee. Good morning. So this was the thing. I made people so comfortable that this is the decisions that they made. And I need you to understand this. Every time you give your money away, remember the decisions that they made. They got paid. They went and said, okay, I got to pay this. I got to pay this. I got to pay this. They said that, right? They paid their rent or they paid something. But they wanted to leave a little bit more money because of entertainment purposes, because they want to go to the club. They want to go out of town. They want to go on a trip. They want to go whatever it is. They want to go to a concert, whatever it is. They want to buy a new outfit, whatever it is. They equated that into, oh, I ain't going to be able to pay this. That's what they said. Now, when they break down what they equal to is I'm going to have fun with my money. And I need you to be responsible for me with your money. So self-control is not trying to impress people. It means pay your bills even though you're going to be broke. I'm happy. When all my bills paid and everything I need is done and I can be broken, I'm happy. Because I'm peaceful. So listen, what's another one of self-control? Not emotionally spending. As you just said, right? Humanity, you just said that. Not emotionally spending. That's self-control with money. Yes. MLG. So listen, another one. Let's talk about self-control with food. Now, as a personal trainer, I get a lot of people and they come in, this is what they say. You know, they're overweight and they say, I don't really eat much. I just eat when I'm emotionally, like when I'm depressed or when I'm. So what you're telling me is you're depressed all the time. And I'm not being funny. What you're telling me is you're depressed all the time. Because an emotional eater, let's look at a binge. When you go on a binge, people don't go on a binge every day. It's when something happened, they go and they're focused. Like a shopping binge. You don't shop every day, but when you go on that binge, it's like that whole week you done spent a couple of thousands. It's put whatever's in front of me. Yep. Oh no, I'm not depressed, but I love. Listen. That's what a lot of people, whatever's in front of them, they eat. But it does equate to emotional eating. But they're just categorizing it wrong. They're speaking of it wrong. So they think that, okay, well, I'm sad. No, it started from your childhood. That childhood. Now, remember that time? You're going to sit here at this table and you're going to eat all of it. Are you not leaving from this table? Eat all your food. Now, you have adults. You're an adult fixing adult plates for children and forcing them to eat it. And what that equated to that child was, if I don't eat all this, they're going to be mad at me. When a child look at an adult being mad at them, they immediately go to the worst and say, they hate me, they don't like me. Because I'm not good enough, I don't eat all my food. And then when you gain the weight, They call you FAT, go sit your FATA down somewhere. They do all these things to make you feel less than. And your child don't understand that it's the food that got you that way. It's them forcing you to eat that got you that way. All you looking at is you're trying to please the people. Now you're sitting around talking about okay, I need to eat the food. If I eat all the food, they love me. Now they saying all these bad things about me. Now I feel sad because they saying all these things about me. Now I got to lose the weight, but I don't know how to lose the weight. And then you wonder why then when they become teenagers, they end up on drugs and all these different things because they're trying to find the balance of the point for you to like them. See, them baby boomers and beyond parents, they have no accountability. They say and do whatever they want. They mistreat you. They dog you out. They call you out your name. It's all because they're projecting what they felt onto you because they were never happy with themselves, and they put it onto their kids, and they become their kids' first bully. And now you're an adult and you say, I just emotionally because I'm down. Well, you're depressed because of the fact you never addressed as a child that you wanted to be loved. So that's why I'm not just a personal trainer, right? I wanted to become a life coach because I wanted to meet you where you were. That's why I created the Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp. The Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp is a place where I teach you how to heal spiritually, mentally, and physically. Right? And therefore, I can meet you where you are. Hey, TNT, what's up? I can meet you where you are. Good morning. Good morning. Listen, we almost done with class, but we're talking about self-control right now. Self-control with money, food, emotions, words, and time. So let's look at this. Self-control with food also look like not overeating, as we just talked about. Eating for health, not for comfort. So if it's in front of you, you're not hungry, you're not hungry. Onija, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the likes, T. And so that's how we look at that. So listen, another one, drinking more water. That's self-control with food. Being disciplined with your body. That's discipline. Discipline with your body. What does that mean? Girl in, thank you for the follow. What does that mean? Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. Being disciplined with your body. A lot of people think that it means that you have to weigh a certain weight. You got to go to the gym. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to suction this. You got to go get your body this because the world said, that's right, Michelle, love yourself. Listen, the world said you have to look a certain way. The world said that if you're not like this, then you're not accepted. And guess what we did? We said it too. As women, guess what we do? We look at another woman like, oh, she shouldn't have put that on. Oh, she needs to wear it. That's why the LeadHER movement is all about me teaching you how to empower other women. It is so important to learn how to be a friend. It is so important because the problem is we're not friends because you were never taught to be friends. You were never taught how to be a friend. You got to think about it. The women in your family, your auntie, your cousin, your mama, they all messy, right? They all sit and gossip. They all sit around, they may even sit with the first lady at the church back in those days and talk about everybody. So if they didn't know how to be a friend to anybody, what make you think you're going to learn how to be a friend? So that is my job with the LeadHER movement. Thank you, Danny, for the follow. With the LeadHER movement is to teach you how to become a friend, a family, a tribe member, to become the best version of yourself, right? Because if I could teach you how to love yourself, then you see the best in you. How can you see the worst in anybody else? You're focused on yourself. That is it, and that's all. So when you're focused on you, how can you focus outside of that? If people don't want to be a part of your life, so what? If people don't want to be around you because you don't look like them, so what? As I told you, you have people in this world, and then you have the ones that Coach Nye is helping raise, the leaders, because I don't just lead. I don't want you as just my follower. Listen, I got a lot of followers. Thank you, and I appreciate it. But I develop leaders. I'm going to develop you into being the best version of yourself. Thank you for that, humanity. Yes, y'all read what she just put. So listen. So as we go on, you have to look at it like this. The ones that say, I could go anywhere and fit in, that means that they be like a chameleon. They can do whatever, right? They can get there. They can do this. They can do this. They got it. right? I'm a change and I'm gonna fit in I can go in VIP, I can go here, I can go here. But it's not that. Let me explain to you what it is. They're people pleasers. Those are people pleaser traits. When a person say I can go anywhere and fit in, that's people pleaser traits. But what you should be saying is, I am comfortable with me that I can go anywhere and be comfortable. I don't have to sit at your table and change who I am to sit at this table. I can still be me and be comfortable sitting at your table. That's how you look at that. So that was the self-control with food. Being disciplined with your body. What is your goals? I don't want to hear your goals. And that's why I changed my whole leadership and my whole personal training up. Thank you, Great Move, for the follow. I changed it up because this is how I look at it now. Don't come to me with a picture. Don't come to me saying like, well, everybody said, mm-mm. Because one thing that I'm teaching you is for you to see yourself the way God sees you. That's what I'm teaching you. That's what I'm teaching you. So let's talk about it. What do you want? Well, I want my jeans to fit on me. I don't want my back pockets to be touching. Okay, you want to build a donk. All right, your back pockets touching, baby, that means you need to put some weight back there. Okay. Okay. I got you. Now we're working with something. Don't tell me because my husband, he cheated on me and this girl had this. I don't want to hear that because now you're telling me you want to look like somebody else and you don't want to look like you. Let's look like you. And looking like you looks like what? Your back pocket's touching. We're not going to let them touch anymore. Thank you so much, TNT. Listen, real quick, TNT Digital, if you're looking for digital marketing, shoppable lives, or anything like that, and she has a class about digital marketing, check her out. Go ahead, follow her. Great host, and she can teach you some things. TNT Digital. So go check her out. So listen, them back pockets like this, so we're going to fix that. That's what you want, right? You want to lose 10 pounds. You want to not look in the mirror when you see yourself. You want to look in the mirror and not feel like you don't want to see, like, I don't like what I see. I don't like the rose. Okay, let's fix that. But do not come to me with the whole discipline with your body talking about you want to look like somebody else. I want to build you up that people look at you and say, I want to look like her. You are the model. That's what I want you to be. So let's look at self-control with emotions. Self-control with emotions is not yelling when you're angry. A lot of people say this. That's just how I talk. I get loud. I'm just passionate when I talk. I used to think that too. And I used to say that. But it's not. I'm not passionate. I'm not emotional. No, that was the problem. I was emotional. I was overly emotional and I wasn't emotionally intelligent. I did not know how to have a conversation because I grew up in a household that everybody yelled. That was my values and my morals. That's what we did. So I had to learn that I don't have to get loud to get my point across. I don't even have to be heard for my point to get across. I have to just have self-worth, knowing that I'm okay. You have to be okay with being the bad guy in their story. You have to be okay with people coming up against you for no reason. You have to be okay with people backbiting or talking about you. You have to be okay with people coming to your life and you give to them and you pour into them and then they take from you and never give back. You have to learn to be okay with that, because if you're not okay with that, you're going to cause yourself to react out of emotions. You're going to start yelling. You're going to start quitting, before you even get started. You're going to start looking at yourself. It's all about this. Let me tell you something about a manipulator. A manipulator will come into your life and just immediately disappear out of your life. Won't give you no explanation, won't give you anything, because they want you to come to them and ask them what's going on so that they can project what they feel. They can project, that jealousy and make it seem like you're the problem. So you can start soul searching thinking that you're the problem. But that's not how that goes. I teach you, close your gate, let the enemy go. What I look like, the enemy leaving. I say, come back. Where you going? Come back. What you doing? Come back. Hell no. Bye. Matter of fact, let me lock my gate. And I got to lock it because I don't need you coming back. You've already revoked your own privileges in my life. You can't come back. There is no, hey, big head, shut up. Find somebody to play with. Move around. Because you're going to be outside the club hating. You're going to be outside the gate hating. You're going to be outside the gate wondering what I got going on. You're going to try and connect to people that I may know just to have a conversation to see what I got going on. You'll create fake pages to see what I got going on. You'll come around me. That's all you can do, but you'll never be in the space where I am for me to teach you and help elevate you again. That's where you have to be. Self-control with your emotions. Knowing that yelling, not to yell when angry, not quitting when you're frustrated, understanding that people are going to be people and you disconnect, not making decisions when you're emotional, and staying calm under pressure. It doesn't matter. Regardless of what's going on, staying calm. Now, that was something that I had to learn. Thank you, TNT. Thank you, Nikki, for the follow. I had to learn that. Okay, staying calm under pressure. Because, baby, you keep poking the bear if you want to. It's going to be a problem. You keep poking the bear if you want to. But all what happened was I thought it was a problem for them, but it was a problem for me. Because now I'm labeled as a angry black woman. Now I'm labeled as immature and can't handle. No, I wasn't. But I was. So, another self-control is self-control with words. Self-control with words. Not saying everything you think. Let me explain something to you. I can't stand the ones that do I'ma just keep it real. And they put their 2 cents, nobody asked, and they just show up to the table and start talking. And they feel good about themselves. What they are is a bully, okay? That is a survival mode toxic trait. I'm going to get you before you get me. But nobody called you. I didn't call for you. You just showed up to the interview and nobody told you you had an interview. You just showed up to the table. No. Everything that come across your mind doesn't need to be said. Because this is how I look at people when they do that. When they do this, they just say stuff. I immediately stop talking. Because a lot of people love to come in on a conversation, don't know the backstory, jump in and put their 2 cents. I immediately stop talking. Yeah. I immediately stop talking when a person just say anything. When they just out there just saying anything. I stop talking. Because I'm not going to give you the floor to disrespect me and pull me out of character. Have it. You don't know me, but yet you want to give their 2 cents and say everything you think. In a relationship, friendship, workship, whatever kind of ship, whatever you think, remember, that is your opinion. It is not a fact. But somehow you're going to force your opinion onto me. That's what you think. That's how you feel. That does not make it facts. Who are you to be spitting facts? You got to remember, everything, most people, when they're saying everything that come to mind, it only makes sense to other low vibrational people. And then those other low vibrational people be like, okay, I would have said this, and they would have gave you more to say. Now you registering that in your mind, so the next time something like that happens, you can spit it out. Yes. However, a higher vibration and a person that's a healed version of themselves, guess what they're going to do? They're going to disconnect. I'm not even fit to go back and forth with you because you done already made up in your mind that this makes sense and it sounds good. So you got it. Got it. That's self-control. That's self-control with my emotions and self-control with my words. So another one is not gossiping. This is another thing. A lot of people get mad at me and they say I act funny or whatever the case may be because I don't gossip. I'm not doing it. Now, I have a good laugh and a good joke about some stuff, but sitting up gossiping about something, that's why they get so frustrated, like, oh, she thinks she's better than us, because I'm not sitting at the table gossiping with you. And you're mad at me because I won't sit at the table and gossip with you? I don't have relationships with certain people in my family because of the fact I'm not sitting at the table gossiping with you. And you can think of me and look at me any kind of way. I'm not doing it. Because I can't stand the whole kicking under the table, winking of the eye. When people do that, they think they so slick, like you don't see it because your back turned. Baby, when you got discernment, you know it already happened. I don't do that. I don't do mess. I don't beef with you and then go find somebody else that I can tell it to, tell my side of the story first. I don't do that. I ain't beefing at all. Matter of fact, if you beefing with me, trust and believe it's a one-sided beef because I don't know nothing about it. I can care less. I'm not doing it. That is self-control with your emotions and your words, not gossiping. And let me explain something to you with this. Also, when you sit at a table and a person is gossiping, that person is gossiping, and you're not saying nothing, guess how that conversation is going to be led? Because that one of them at the table is going to take it to the person. And this is what they're going to say. Well, me, such and such, and Coach Nye, we was just like, and Coach Nye said absolutely nothing. So guess what? I'm not even sitting at your table. I'm leaving the table. Because if I can't be at the table to help you see things from a bigger picture, right? If I'm going to be at the table, that means that I'm going to show you, let's look outside the box. Maybe that's not what she meant at all. I know a person that every time another person do something, they see the negativity and they're like, oh, you see how she came for me? I saw absolutely nothing. I saw that person just sitting around chilling. How did you see that person from across the room with shades on and a low hat, and you said they was looking at you and rolling their eyes? Baby, what kind of Superman powers do you have? Teach me. Show me. Show me. No, I don't entertain it. Get out of here. And then another one of self-control with your words is not arguing about everything. I told you the enemy is going to always do his job. The enemy's job is to just come and cause confusion. Come in, plant a seed. That's it. If he can plant a seed of doubt, a chaos mess, then he's won already. He's on to the next. You keep your gate closed. So, arguing with everything. Listen, do you know how many people that I was supposed to be kind of like in a relationship with? Sometimes I forget that we even trying to date, because that's how much of a dating person I am. It's like, okay, yeah, bye. But this is how it is. You think you fit to argue? You think I'm fit to argue with you? You think I'm going to chase and argue with you? You think that you about to get a phone call and a text and I'm going to be constantly going in on you every day? I say what I have to say. I say what I have to say because I'm going to get my words out. I'm going to say what I got to say. But baby, I'm not going to chase you down to doggone so you see my point and you see this. Once you show me or give me, quote unquote, your ass to kiss, it's a wrap. Curtains for you. Because in this moment, you feel good about it. In this moment, you feel real good about it. Like, yeah, I told Coach Now, I did that. Yeah, you told. In that moment, what I had to learn is my get back does not happen in that moment. I allow it to happen because in that moment, you feel good. But in the long run, you get to see who I truly am. And see, I was a positive plus in your life. But since you gave me that to kiss, it's curtains for you. I don't care. Now you realize that, okay, maybe I'm the problem. But that's your thing. That's a you thing. So I'm not arguing with anybody. If you have a problem with me, and this, ladies, I'm telling y'all this, the reason why I said this is so important for the LeadHER movement, if a person have a problem with you, if they can't come to you, say it with their chest, baby, keep them moving. There is no reason for you to address it at all. What you addressing it for? Just so they can lie? You don't address anything that's beneath you. A person, another woman, a man, an adult, anyone, any human, if they can't come to you face to face and have a conversation, then you got to understand that they are weak and they beneath you, and you keep moving. You don't address anything that's in low vibration. Ever. Okay? Now, another one is speaking with intention. Self-control is speaking with intention. I want to live a peaceful life. I want our relationship to grow into a friendship and real love. Our friendship is worth more than nonsense. You speak with intention. I speak with intention. I'm going to have a great day. I'm going to have a great day. TNT, well, guess what? Great. I'm glad you made it right in time. But this is amazing. This day is going to be all about me. You know? So if I speak with intentions, if I set my intentions, then therefore it can't help but be a great day, because anytime the enemy show up, I'm going to realize that, oh, there's the enemy. Move. I said I'm having a great day. So if to have a great day, enemy can't be here. Remove the enemy. Keep having a great day. Now, another one about self-control with words is knowing when to be quiet. Yeah. So women, knowing when to be quiet. When do you be quiet? You don't be quiet because he told you be quiet. No, I don't want you to be quiet. It ain't when you turn up either. Is you have to know that knowing your self-worth. Does this match who you are or who you're becoming? Then it's nothing to talk about. It's okay. Pride and ego has to be checked. I don't care nothing about what you got going on. It does not mean that you will listen, let me explain this, because I know the world done taught y'all something. When they teach y'all something, when the world teaches you something, you go running with it and you use it in your quotes and you say all this, but you never really think about it and say it out loud. So let's talk about it. If they go low, you go high. No, I'm not. If they go to hell, I'm going to hell. No, I'm not. I'm going to stay right here. I don't have to go anywhere. Because here's the thing. When you go low, you meeting the enemy right where he at, that's what he wants you to do. But if you go high, that means that, yeah, I'm above you, but yet I never set the boundary. So you're going to keep trying me. That means that you can say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. I can do all these, and I'm just not going to say anything. That doesn't make you a bigger person. As a leader, you have to learn how to address a thing and create the boundary. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay right here. And I'm going to meet you where you are, but I'm going to meet you with my boundaries. Period. You will never speak to me that way. You want to talk to me? This is how you need to talk to me. This is who I am. And I'm not shaking and changing for nobody. I'm not going low and I'm not going high. You're not about to make me get out of my character to make you comfortable. Out of here. No more. So knowing when to be quiet. And this is how it is. Move. That's it. For me, that's it. Boundaries. Move. You can't talk to me until you learn how to talk to me. That's it. So I don't have a conversation for you. So self-control with time. Ladies. I'm talking to you smokers out there too. If you ain't a lady and you're a smoker, come to the front of the congregation, because y'all be working my nerves, because we keep talking about these smokers, because y'all always setting a time for something and nobody shows up for time. It's like y'all don't even respect time. Y'all don't know what time is. Like, time is an illusion. We having a barbecue, but 3 o'clock, I'm like, okay, I'll get there at 4. So by the time, the food will be... No, they still haven't even started. They're still rolling because of the fact what has comprehended to them. And when they finally do, now they lazy. They like, man, I don't even feel like it. And then they just throw it on there just because. And then they forget about the barbecue. Now I'm mad because I'm hungry. Ain't no food. And it's 10:30 at night. And I still ain't ate. I'm your sober friend. Don't invite me. So listen, self-control with time. Not wasting hours on your phone. It is things that need to be done. Women, every downtime that we get, when we get a piece of downtime to ourselves, we pick that phone up, baby, and we get to scrolling off every TikTok live that's funny, that's this. We listen to a live, we do, but nothing's getting done. And yet we complain when they say, why don't you do this? I don't have time. I don't have time between the kids, their games, their practices, the husband and cooking. I don't have time, and work. I don't have time. You do have time. You make time for the things that you want and the things that you love. You just forced yourself into thinking that and not loving yourself, right? Because you put everybody before you. So no, you don't go, emotional scrolling. You don't go get your hair done. You don't go, you don't put on clothes. You don't do anything because of the fact you've already equated yourself that everybody else is more important than you. Thank you for the follow. You've already said everybody is more important than you. And since you did that, guess what? You don't have time. You don't make time for it. So we're going to change that. So another thing about self-control with time is not procrastinating. Get it done. Listen, y'all don't like to fold clothes. Y'all don't like wrinkled clothes. You don't like the iron. Let me tell you how this works for me. I wash a load of clothes. I dry a load of clothes. I don't wait 3-4 hours next day to put them in the dryer. I put them in there as soon as it say beep. See, I'm not turning off my notification. The notification is there for a reason, for women. That notification on the washer and the dryer to let you know that it is done is for the women, right? And the reason being is because whoever created that washer and dryer machine said, hey, we need to make sure that this is for the moms or the women that are so busy, because moms are busy. They got everything going on. And then they know your mind is already telling you you have to do something. But what do? You go cut it off. It's so annoying. And then nothing gets done. So let me tell you what I do. When it says beep, I go in there, take it out of the washer, put it into the dryer. When it says beep, I take it out and I fold it right then and there. See, I don't wash the big oversized loads of clothes that I'm just like, dreading. No, I wash the decent amount of clothes because of the fact I don't wait to the last minute. I don't wait till we run out of underwear, socks, and sheets and everything, our towels. I don't wait. If it's a load of clothes, then it's going to get washed. period. If it's a load of clothes, it's going to get washed. My boys are 13 and 18. If their basket is full, they know to go do their laundry. They know that if I come in their room and their basket is overflown with clothes, is that even a word, overflown? We got a problem. Because it's filled up for a reason. It gave you this much room to fill up for a reason. Meaning that when you get to here, go wash the clothes. Hold on, let me do my puzzle. And so that's another thing. So I don't procrastinate. It's impossible for me to procrastinate if I got all the signals there. The washer is ding, the dryer is ding. So doing what needs to be done first. Before you go get your wig done, installed, before you go make plans with going to the concert, Little Miss Drama concert, well, she done now. Before you go do all that stuff, I need you to do what needs to be done first. Like your bills need to be paid. I'm going to need you to pay your bills. Okay? I'm going to need you to pay your rent. I'm going to need you to put some groceries in the house. I'm going to need you to do everything. Before you decide to go do pleasures, I'm going to need you to take care of what needs to be done. Remember, God meet our needs. He will always meet our needs. So when y'all are playing with y'all money, when God blessed you with the job that you have so He can take care of your needs and you playing with that, you're not just sitting around playing with self. You playing with God. What you saying is, God, yeah, I know you're going to give me some more. So yeah, you taking advantage of what He blessed you with. Think about it that way. So do what needs to be done first before you go bringing anything else in. And then being productive. Self-control with time is being productive. Find you something to do. It is so important for women to find them something to do. Get a hobby. You have to get a hobby. You want to get married? I enjoyed being married. I did. I enjoyed the companionship. I enjoyed all of that. That's what I love. If I was to get married again, that's what it would be for the companionship. You know, yeah, I love to, but the companionship because you have a friend. But in the world we live in now, finding that is a little difficult. And the reason being, because we look for what we're saying and versus letting God bring in what we need. So that companionship, meaning that while you're married, you have to have a hobby. That husband is not your hobby. The wife is not your hobby. The husband is not your hobby. The husband is not your hobby. Meaning, I'm bored, you don't take me nowhere. Well, okay, he can take you out sometimes, but baby, get your hobby. Go plant some flowers. Find you something to do to keep you productive. I know when my boys are gone for the summer, baby, I'll be sitting here like, what am I do, man? Like a 90s sitcom. Gotta find something to do. But now, that's how I used to be. But now, I've gotten used to, okay, having a hobby, having something to do. Thank you, Tangi, for the follow. Having something to do. I make sure I stay productive. So, that's what we learned about self-control with money, food, emotions, words, and time. Now, and another thing with time is protecting your time. Oh, this is a big one. Let me talk about this one. So, okay, once you heal, right? Once you go through the journey of finding you, that's the whole purpose of healing, is finding you, your true authentic self, and you step into leadership and to your purpose. Protecting your time. You realize now that it's not about money, tangible money. That currency equates to your energy and your time. That's what it is. So now you realize that someone can bankrupt you from time, your time. Now you look at all the people that you poured into and you were there for, right? And you were always there for, and you made sure you was pouring into them, and your time was wasted. So you can't get that back. That's why I say bankrupt. You can't get that back. So now you understand that my time is very important. You protect it. Everybody don't get a piece of my time. If I give you some of my time and you play with it, you'll never do it again. You understand? Because my time means something to me. Because I'm taken away from me. And I'm the most important thing in this whole situation. Me. Me first. Just press it on. Thank you for the follow. It's me. So that's why I need you to understand. So if you can control these 5 areas, your life will absolutely change. It will absolutely change. And those 5 areas is money, food, emotions, words, and time. That is very powerful. Money, food, emotions, words, and time. Self-control in those areas. Now let's look at your life improves when your life improves when your self-control improves. Now, okay, so we talked about what self-control was and how it plays a part in leadership, but most people want a better life. You want a better life, but you don't want better discipline. You don't want the discipline. You want a better life, but you don't want the discipline, and that's what you need to have. Your life will improve when you start what? You eat better on what you spend, what you say, how you act, what you watch, who you hang around, how you spend your time, your habits, your attitudes, and your decisions. That. You want to improve your life, then you have to start controlling those things. Success is not about being lucky. Success is about self-control. So I can tell you right off the bat, if I meet you, like a fortune teller, I can tell you right off the bat, if I meet you, I can tell you what in 6 months or a year your life is going to look like. And I can tell you that by your habits. By your habits. If I don't see you ever striving to want more, if I see you doing a whole lot of the talking, saying, oh man, this is what I want to do. By next year, I want to have this, but yet your actions show you're always on social media. You always got a game and control in your hand. You're always procrastinating. You're never putting any work into the product or the process. You're never doing anything. You're just constantly saying, I can tell you right now that you will not have what you said you want in 6 months to a year. You're going to be an absolute failure in that area. Big fat F. Don't look for it. Don't go past go. Don't do anything, because your habits will dictate and show what your future will look like. But if you improve your self-control, let me tell you what that'll look like. Your health improves. Your money improves. Your relationships improve. Your confidence improves. Your opportunities improve, and your future improve. That is if you improve your self-control. Self-control changes everything. Real control, and with that changing everything, self-control is the real power. That is what power is. When you say you want to be powerful. For me, as I say, this is the most powerful season that I've ever been in my life when it comes to spiritually, mentally, and physical. I am so powerful in this season of my life. And it's not going to go away because I'm constantly improving. I'm so powerful, and it's not about no rituals and witchcraft, not any of that. It's just the fact of me knowing who I am, understanding that I am in a leadership position, understanding how powerful I am, right? How powerful my mind is, my words, meaning that what I say, how it can affect someone else, how powerful everything about me, the way I move, what I teach, how it can impact someone. So self-control is power. Real power is not being loud or aggressive, controlling people, having followers, likes, shares, having money, or being popular. That is not power. Real power is controlling yourself. I am in self-control of me. It is nothing you can do that's going to cause me to react. If I want to react, that's because I chose to react. It's not because something that you did. Okay? If no one can make you lose your anger, our temper, right? Make you act out of anger or lose your temper or break your discipline. If no one can make you quit your goals, spend your money, waste your time, or act out of character, then that is true power. That is very powerful. It's true power. The most powerful person in the room is the one who can control themselves. That's the most powerful. The low vibrational survival mode folks will look at you like, oh, they got punked and they got... But a healed version, high vibrational person, that's powerful. That's goals. That is goals. Dang. Yeah. Who can control themselves? Let's look at what self-control means. Self-control means controlling your habits, your mouth, your emotions, decisions, focus, and your future. That's what self-control is. So self-control is the foundation of leadership. Okay? If you ain't learned nothing else, we're talking about self-control is the foundation of leadership. Now, we're going to get into the ARPIE. So for the ones that's new, if you don't know what ARPIE is, ARPIE, I want you to look at it just like this. ARPIE. ARPIE. Our piece of the pie. Look at it like that, okay? And I'll break it down to you that way. Yes, the ARPIE is something that I created that will help you get your piece of the pie of healing. So it is the foundation, is the 5 pillars of the foundation of Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp. Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp I'm the founder of, is what teaches you how to heal spiritually, mentally, and physically. And so the ARPIE being the foundation means to acknowledge, release, practice, enter, explore, and empower. And that alone is how you check and balance yourself. In any situation, you apply the ARPIE. You acknowledge what's going on, right? You're not reacting anymore. You're going to respond to it by releasing it. You're going to practice whatever self-care or whatever it is that you need to practice, whether it's breathing. You're going to do an inner explore, which is to a self-reflection. Look at what part did you play. No, you're not the problem. That's not what I'm saying. But what part did you play that they felt that they can come inside your gate? Did you leave the gate open? Right? And then to empower yourself. Tell yourself you did a good job. Be proud of yourself. So let's get into the ARPIE. So A for acknowledge. Where do I lack self-control? Another thing, if you're new here, always have a notebook because I give homework. And this is part of your homework, okay? So where do I lack self-control? Acknowledge. Where do you lack it? And then R, release. Release impulsive decisions and emotional reactions. And then P, pause before reacting today. Today alone, I want you to pause before reacting. Somebody say something right now. If y'all at work and y'all listening to me, baby, when you get off this live, trust me, I'm going to tell you how the enemy going to show up. They're going to walk by your cubicle. They're going to meet you in the cafeteria. It's going to be something. Are they going to send you a message, email that's just going to rub you the wrong way? But I want you to pause before reacting in all caps. Or starting off with, good morning. First off, you can't be nice, nasty. Good morning. First off. No. Pause before you react. Okay, so I for inner explore, which is the self-reflection. What triggers my lack of self-control? And then E for empower. I am in control of myself. I am in control of myself, okay? So the overall lesson of today's lesson is you don't need to control other people to be powerful. If you can control your emotions, your habits, your mouth, your time, you are already powerful. So your journaling prompt for today is, what area of my life do I need more self-control in money, food, emotions, words, or time? And where do I lack self-control? And your homework is basically, well, this is all your homework, but I want you to control your emotions today. So you're going to pause before you react today and check your emotions, right? Now, let's declare. Declare this to be so. Hold on. Let me get this right. Okay, let me pull it up here. Okay, so let's declare it. Repeat after me. I am in control of myself. I control my emotions, my habits, my words, and my time. I respond. I don't react. Self-control is my power. Self-control is my power, and I am becoming a strong leader. And your scripture for today is Proverbs 16, verse 32, and it is better a patient person than a warrior. One who with self-control, I'll chop that up. Let me start over. Better a patient person than a warrior. One with self-control than one who takes a city. Now, this is something neat that I read. So this is why I was stumbled over that, because I was trying to get to this point that I seen. So I was looking and I Googled it, and I was like, okay, well, what about this one? And I seen self-control and patience are superior to physical strength or military power. That's breaking down basically what Proverbs 16:32 is. So those are the type things I need you to understand, that better a patient person than a warrior, one with self-control than one who takes a city. So that's all about being a leader.